All right, welcome to today's daily Sidereal Astrology forecast for September 8th. My name is Athen. So we're in the balsamic phase of the lunar cycle, which is gearing up for the solar eclipse here on Sunday in Leo. Very powerful, transformational, new beginnings, and it's all about the life path. It's associated here with the North Node. It is happening in different houses for each of us, so do check your weekly and your monthly horoscope for that. But the balsamic phase is a time of gearing up for that. It's a time of reflecting on the previous lunar cycle and even the previous solar cycle when it is an important energy like this, so the past 6 months. During that time period, we did have those sets of eclipses in the springtime. And all of that stuff is linking up to these new beginnings which are taking place here now this week. So anyways, reflecting on the past 6 months, reflecting on the past lunar cycle too, it's more of this introverted sort of energy. The moon does shift into Cancer, where she's in dignity actually, and it is much more comfortable for her to be in. She's in Gemini, which isn't, all that bad, but it's quite busy. There's a lot of that correspondence or communications from yesterday and the previous days. But now with the moon shifting into Cancer, it's much more about the emotional side of life, a good day for spending time at home or with family, and anyone or anything that we're sentimentally connected to. So pretty watery, but that energy will unfold as the day shifts because the moon doesn't transition until about midday for those of us in America. And then in the late afternoon, if you're in Europe, and of course, if you're in Oceania, do watch the previous day's video. But that'll be that shift from Gemini into Cancer. So let's go and look at the transit graph and see what we got going on today. So this aspect, Mars trining up to Uranus, is going exact here today. This will be the high point. This is about new motivation, a new sense of inspiration, and an aliveness coming in. This might be actual new opportunities for some of us, depending on our personal chart, if we've got something else sort of aligning or triggering this. But in either case, we should all be feeling like changing things up. And there are some new experiences, or at least wanting some new experiences here today, which can be very motivational, very inspirational, and can get a lot done if it is productive, but can just enjoy it quite a bit. So that's going to be the high point. Along with that, Mercury does square up to Pluto. So this is a little bit of a different kind of energy, more challenging here. Now, this one doesn't go exact until tomorrow. So I don't think this will be the high point, but it is very important to talk about here. Mercury, who is our communications, it is our thoughts, it is our daily sort of mind, in a good position actually over here, exalted in Virgo. Perhaps we have been thinking about taking care of things, tying up loose ends, whether it's at work or with the home or the daily activities. But now squaring up to Pluto is a reminder to have observational awareness of the mind and not push forward too hard. To kind of obsess about getting certain things done, or about forcing our point of view onto others, or forcing our own will onto the world too strongly, because Pluto is about that ego detachment. Pluto's like the ego killer. If we get too attached, to any particular outcomes with this, then it can be frustrating and it can be difficult to work with. So that's not going to be the case for all of us, but I do want to throw that out so you're aware of this kind of energy. Really, it's very constructive actually for diving down into the deep matter of things. If we are involved with anything on that daily level, getting things done, very constructive. And as long as we have that present moment awareness and we're coming from that space and that compassion, if we're dealing with others, then it can be very constructive, and we can actually learn quite a bit about ourselves with this kind of aspect. So anyways, that'll be a sort of secondary energy to this inspiration, which is flowing here today. And I feel like there is maybe some new things or a new take on our experiences, which will be quite motivating. So with that being said, the moon does form some aspects. This will be mostly for those of you in Europe and Oceania. The moon does square up to Uranus, so being aware of the emotions here today, especially anything that is impulsive, I think will be an important consideration. But there is healing taking place in the morning time when we do face, and I think we will want to face those things that we normally don't feel like facing, or we feel a little bit inhibited about facing, which is Chiron. But through that can feel quite rejuvenating in the morning time. But then in the evening time, for those of you in America mostly, the moon does trine up to Saturn. and sextiles up to the north node. So there is this healthy sense of detachment to our feelings, and I think it is a good evening for, especially with the moon in Cancer, just connecting and really getting involved with, the more watery elements of life, and all of that is very supportive right now in this balsamic phase as we start to gear up for these major new beginnings here on Sunday. So have a good one, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please do let me know, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.